Welcome to the stream, everyone. You know the rule I laid out recently that, if you do it at your worst, you get better at your best? Today's one of those days. I slept like shit. I was up at like 5 this morning and couldn't fall back asleep until 8 in the morning, so, lost like 2 REM cycles for Ray. But I got lots of sleep the night before to make up for it, so like, I'm generally in a good mood. I think I can handle today's stream. Welcome to another episode of Diddy's Kong's Racing. If you missed it, on Friday I streamed, the Frosty Fest with friends. That was a good time. I had things to say. You know, the memory really is working today. It's not at all. God. Right, I wanted to talk about the trailer. So, the Frosty Fest Friendzone trailer that I made, the one that's a YTP, that's something I'm surprisingly proud of for being as silly as it is. I've tried to make things lately that I can do in one evening, and that was no exception. I managed to knock all of that out in a single 6-hour sitting, right after dinner all the way up to midnight. And I knew in my heart that if I didn't finish it in one sitting, I wouldn't finish it at all, so I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I did it in, you know, as minimum effort as possible while still keeping it presentable. Aptmoo mentioned that Twitch opened in Firefox instead of the Twitch app for some reason, on mobile, I assume. So I asked if it even works on Firefox Mobile, and Aptmoo says, yes, apparently, but I'm not signed in to anything on there because I specifically use Firefox Focus, which is the one-tab no-history version, right? Hey Quintalian, hey Apex, welcome to the stream. Apex, you're not late! We've barely started! I haven't even started playing the game yet, come on. I just appreciate that you're here. Thank you all. The trailer, right. So, I got that done in one sitting, one evening, which I'm really proud of. The whole thing was just an excuse to say my friends' names in silly ways. So, I'm glad I was able to pull that off. Y'all know I've never really done that before. I've never really made, like, a trailer for an upcoming stream. I only did it this time because I saw it in my head and I thought to myself, this would be a great excuse to, like I said, say my friends' names in silly ways. And also, like, try my hand at a YTP. I've never done that before. Hylian says, I'm not late, I'm going to live for... That's the right way to do it! Hey Hylian, welcome to the stream. Still a phenomenal trailer. Aw, thank y'all so much. Yeah, I'm really proud of it. It came out exceptionally well for being my very first YTP. And, I of course based it on the, opening of Hank of the Hill, but, that's because that's what I could hear in my head, was just riffing on that with, Frosty Fest instead, and, yeah, I'm proud of churning that out in one evening. Don't expect a whole lot more, like, maybe if I do other YTPs, they probably won't be bound to stream trailers. The only thing that came close to it in my mind was an idea that, like... So I want to stream Magical Tetris Challenge on Tuesday. And, you know, Tetris for Sickos, the one that gives you pentaminos instead of garbage. I'm so excited to die repeatedly. But, I considered for a moment the idea of taking Steamboat Willie and editing that to have, like, pentaminos and tetraminos in it and shit, but, like, I don't know if it would land the same, and it would take a lot more effort than I want to put into it. I'd rather just stream the game. New holiday, Magical Tetris Challenge Tuesday. Man, I miss Sonic Tuesday. Italian says the trailer's pretty good, I enjoyed it. Thank you all so much. I'm very excited to have my ass handed to me. Magical Tetris Challenge scares me in a good way, so that's why I'm so excited about streaming it. Like I said, I'm hoping to stream it Tuesday. I have all of this week off, so plenty of time to stream. I say, but I'm probably actually not going to stream for most of the week. It's probably just going to be Tuesday and then next Sunday. I've got plenty of IRL things to take care of, so, I'd like to knock those out instead. Maybe I can sneak in a stream or two if I'm feeling up to it, but probably not. far as that trailer goes, I wanted to talk about, like, the weird sort of shame I felt about it being a self-promotion thing. Like, the whole excuse of the trailer was so that it could be a gag, right? But also, it's promotion for a stream, and those things are kind of at odds in a way that I've had to grapple with over the last, like, few days after it released. Like, at first it released, and a bunch of people, the people who knew what it was, jumped on it immediately and said, "This is incredible, Sky, LMAO, you did great," and I'm so grateful for those of y'all who sat down and watched it. But there's also a whole other subset of people who just actively avoided it, and I am aware of specific cases of this. I'm not making this up. But, there are people who actively avoided it until I specified, hey, this isn't some advertising thing, this is a YTP. And then they watched it and they said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it first. And that's something I'm still feeling weird about. It's like, I made that with intent to celebrate my friends and myself doing a funny thing. I don't want that to be equated with the kind of ads that get shoved directly into your ad blocker, or the kind of sponsor block thing that skips sections of YouTube videos for... I'm not doing that. I'm not on Twitch to make money, you know. I'm just doing it to have a good time. The unfortunate thing is that many people don't understand hobbies or things people have, and some hobbies are contingent on advertising yourself, like Twitch or Patreon. Like, even a Patreon, which is, like, explicitly paid services, I don't see that in the same way as a capital A ad that a company puts out. And I'm not trying to, like, say anybody was wrong about their responses or anything. I feel weird about it. And I don't know how to, like... I'm talking this out to try and, like, collect my thoughts on it and see if I can figure something out here about why I feel weird about it. I think it's, like... The way I presented it was definitely too straight. Like, it looks like, okay, here's... The trailer title was Friday, Frosty Fest Friendzone. That's it. Okay, that's what we called it. My memory is not working today. What is up with my brain access? So, like, everything you need to know about the actual stream is there in the title. Why would you click through to the video to watch it at that point? If you didn't know what it was. And I didn't clarify what it was. There's no part of the title or the thumbnail that says, hey, this is a YTP. So, that's sort of on me, in that sense, but also, like, on the flip side of that is this whole culture of people who, like, completely avoid anything with a Twitch link or a Patreon link or any other, like, sometimes even YouTube links, because that all comes across as, like, advertising, self-promotion type of shit. And I'm guilty of that, too. I'm guilty of that as much as anybody else. I'll just scroll past things when I don't have any interest in them, and I'm not even gonna give them a like. Which, that's something I want to change within myself. But also, it's like... God, I don't really know how to put this. It's hard. It's complicated. The whole thing's complicated. I'm glad I was able to clarify it for people who didn't understand it first. And when I clarified it, more people watched it, and it was more of a success from there. On the other side of the coin, we do live in advertising hell, as Apex put it. That's exactly correct. And I've always been a support small businesses kind of person, and by small businesses, I usually mean your local Patreon person who takes commissions. Your local artist or your local streamer who is not viewed by tens of thousands of people every stream. And so it's like, there's a conflict of interest there between advertising sucks and I want to promote my friends and myself when I'm doing things. I'm just here to have fun. When I post a Twitch link to every fucking social media on Earth and also Discord, I'm not doing it to grow my audience. I think that shit sucks. Everybody here is my friends. I've talked about this before. I'm just doing it to say, hey, I'm having fun over here. If you want to come join, I'm right over here. Click this link. The web exists as a collection of links. I'm also asking for your time. And that's not the same thing as money, but that is just as precious to a lot of people. So I can see the conflict of interest there, too. Like, I'm not quitting my day job to make jukeboxes, Apex says. I'm still gonna pay money to advertise it. Yeah, I'm really excited to get my hands on an updated jukebox. I still use the V4, I think, and it has served me well. Use it every stream, part of the intro. Quintalian says, I'm so used to blocking or pulverizing real ads that your promotion didn't set off my AdSense in a negative way. Okay, good. Because I know there are a couple people for whom it did. I also know there are a couple people for whom it didn't, but it still reads as advertising to them, which, yeah, I guess it's an ad in all technicality, but I don't like admitting that. Oh, Quintalian has a second message. Didn't set off my AdSense in a negative way, so I was pretty sure it was worth seeing. Okay, good. I think for anybody who knows me and knows that I don't make trailers like that often or at all, I think the last time I made one of those was the goddamn Switch launch party that I did. Jesus Christ, that was 7 years ago. Jesus Christ, that was 7 years. Where does the time go? Sorry, I think for people who know me, they know I don't make things like that, but when I just posted in somebody's Discord server where I only kind of know the people there, and I know the owner rather well, but the rest of them don't know that I don't make that stuff, it's comes across in a very different way. So, I don't know. This was an interesting experiment. Let's put it that way. I learned a lot about how to do this in the future, and when I do it in the future, it will almost assuredly have stupid edits and humor and YTP elements. But it's also going to be only in the same way that I was inspired this time. I was inspired this time by a specific thing, to do it a specific way, to... Really what I did it for is to put a smile on my friends' faces who are going to be there. Say Apex's and Lexi's and Hylian's names in funny ways. And in that way, it succeeded. 100%. And I'm really happy about it. I need some water, Christ. Schlorp, schlorp. So something like the Tetris one that I wanted to do, Magical Tetris Challenge, which would just be a dumb edit of Steamboat Willie with Tetraminos and Pentaminos. It's cute. It's also more in service of promoting the stream than it is of being a really funny idea. What I want to do is I want to be ideas-oriented, and I want those ideas to be earnest. I want the ideas to be earnest. Highland says, can't confirm a smile did happen. Aw, that's awesome. I'm so glad it worked. Chutta says it was very tasteful. I'm glad. I've got all these complicated feelings about how it went, and I'm glad I learned a lot, and I'm sure I'll do it again, and when I do, I will take all those lessons I learned and bump into another, stub my toe on something else. It's something I've never done before in any capacity, so I'm still learning how to do it right. Quote unquote. Whatever that means. There's no way to do it right. There's just a way to do it well and good enough. And this time I did it quite good enough. Can't wait to see what you do next. Aw, thanks, Apex. Alright, I think I've rambled about that enough. Diddy Kong Racing is today, and I'm very excited about getting back to this. I hope I still have any of the skill that I had, because the tracks and the AI and the silver coin challenges only get worse from here. So, I don't think we're going to finish it today, but we are going to see the back half of the regular courses and maybe race the first WizPig race. We'll see how far I can get in a couple of hours. I may have less time today than I did last time. And even if I did make as much progress this time as I did last time, that would mean the next stream is really short. So we're probably going to cut it a little early. But I'm going to try and cut myself at a place where I can... the next thing I do is more of a warm-up. So I'm not going to stop in the middle of like a silver coin challenge streak. Because if I have to pick back up on one of those, it's going to take another 40 attempts before I warm back up again. So, nope. No Dark Moon Caverns today. It's probably not. There's probably going to be a part 3 to this, and next week will be Dark Moon Caverns. All of that last set of courses is my absolute favorite of the lot, but some of these in the back half are also really great, so Why don't we get to it? Good old rainbow bars. Let me switch my monitor over before we turn this on. If I can press the right buttons. That's the right buttons. Alright. Ready, set,